Hello. First of all, I would like to thank the Greek House Davos for inviting me here in Davos, and all of you for being here. Um, if we take into account how payments used to take place 20 years ago, how they were 10 years ago, how they are today, we will see that the most important changes have to do with innovation and technology. And I would dare to say that in the coming years, we will see extremely important developments. Now, in the Greek government, we try to focus on policies that will actually cultivate the environment in order to promote innovation. And one of our main policy tools in order to do so has been an initiative named Elevate Greece. Allow me to say that up until recently, the Greek government did not know how many startups we had, in which sector they were, how many people they employed, what budgets we had. So it was very difficult to actually implement policies for the startup ecosystem. In fact, we didn't even have a definition for our startups, so we didn't know which companies could be actually labeled as startups, which companies were newly formed companies but were not innovative, and which companies were innovative but were working for functioning for many years now, so they were not startups. So the first thing that we actually did 3 years ago was to set criteria for the startups, which companies would be actually called startups. And then we created a startup registry called Elevate Greece. And allow me to say that this was a very important initiative because it allowed us to map the innovation ecosystem. But we did not want to do something static, something only as a registry. We wanted to do something much more dynamic that would actually help the innovation ecosystem. So through Elevate Greece, we legislated for the first time specific incentives for angel investors, specific incentives for stock options. And allow me to say that because I heard in the previous panel about the deal that Viva Wallet had, one of the Greek startups, the first Greek unicorn actually, due to in the fintech sector, due to our legislation for the stock options, every employee of Viva Wallet will actually gain 450,000 euros, which I think all of us can understand is a game changer in a household's life. Apart though from the incentives for angel investors for stock options, we ran a very successful mission in order to increase the liquidity of the innovation ecosystem of the startups, especially due to the consequences of the pandemic crisis. But at the same time, apart from public policy tools, we wanted to bring inside the private sector. So we made agreements with all of the Greek banks, for example, for specified banking products for the innovation ecosystem, with multinational companies that gave access to their global innovation centers they had, free cloud services, mentoring services for the startup ecosystem, useful tools that will actually help the startup ecosystem flourish. I will end here with the initiative of Elevate Greece, but in my secondary remarks, I will go further on.
Viva Wallet reach the unicorn stage, and in that sense, how do you think that new technologies will impact actually the way that people interact in their everyday relations, in the way they do their payments, and how do financial digitalization opens a new way of capabilities, a new horizon for consumers, but also for merchants?
First of all, I would like to say that you were a McKinsey consultant. I was a BCG consultant. You taught at McGill. I taught at the LSE. So I feel that I'm in between you. Exactly. That's the nice for the innovation. Now, regarding technology, I want to give you a story of my mother. Okay, my mother grew up in Piraeus, and she got a Fulbright scholarship and went to study at the US. She would contact her parents by writing post letters in the beginning. A couple of years later, she would actually have the capability of phoning back home. Some decades later, my brother went to the US and he would contact my mother through Skype. So I think we can see a very remarkable shift of communications through technology and, of course, through innovation. I think the revolution is similar in fintech. And what I would like to add is that it is very important also for the public administration, as you said, because one of the main problems that the Greek economy has been facing in the last decade had to do with the black economy. And fintech does provide extremely important solutions in order to deal with it. But what I do want to say is that in the Greek government, we truly believe that Greek scientists and young entrepreneurs have immense talent, but there weren't many opportunities in Greece. And one of our strategic priorities when we did become government was to see how we could create good job opportunities for our talented individuals. So attracting important multinational companies to the country was a priority. However, exactly, Microsoft, Pfizer, Cisco, EY, Applied Materials, TeamViewer, Amazon Web Services, many companies. However, we do not believe that all Greeks should become executives of multinational companies. And I'm saying that having been an executive of a multinational company. So our main priority was to actually unleash the talent that Greek individuals have. And that's why it was extremely important to beef up the startup ecosystem. And I think that Viva Wallet is one of the cases where talented individuals started on their own and created this unicorn in the fintech sector. I am extremely optimistic that we will have many more Viva Wallets following in the next year, not only in the next years, not only in fintech, but in many categories as well. Allow me to conclude by saying that our main strategy is to our main goal, more correctly, is actually to make talented Greeks feel sure that they can be competitive at a global stage from Greece, whether that is in Athens, in Corinth, in Crete, in Salonika, or in Yanina. And the fact that a fintech startup like Viva Wallet did succeed is not only a very important message, but we believe it's an inspiration for many startuppers and future startuppers in the country.